What's going on, people? Me, myself, Mansell Bello, and welcome to another episode of Come Chop. And today I am joined by a legend, a man that needs no introduction, Cerose, my brother.
Blessings, fam.
Thank you very much for joining me. I know it's been in the works, but as they always say, God's time is the best time.
Amen.
So I believe this is the best time.
Yes,
Listen,
sir.
I'm gonna cut all the PDC. We all know, whoever knows about you, this it's not hard. PDC. We know you've come from the roads. I personally believe you. For me, you were one of the first independent musicians when you was in the world circular to go to America and actually do your thing, link up with people, do tracks with people in America,
Facts.
and then you dropped out to Hollywood. So I just want to start the interview by saying, what does it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? You were mainstream. What made you make the transition from being one of the most well-known UK rappers to saying, you know what, I'm gonna drop that and I'm gonna follow Christ?
Truth, bruv. One word, truth, you know what I mean? Always knew that there was something else greater than myself, something else, a higher power. I just didn't know who the higher power was, you know what I mean? You know, the Christians were saying it's Jesus, the Muslims were saying it's Allah, you know what I'm saying? The Rasta man them were saying it's Selassie, so on and so on, you know what I mean? I needed to find out what's the truth, because everyone can't be right, you know what I'm saying? So there was a time in my life around 2015 when there was a lot of things going on as far as, you know, ISIS was big in the world and killing people, and just a lot of, I don't know, God's timing, as you just said earlier, and really just pushed me into a place. At the time I was in Jamaica. My dad was a pastor, God rest his soul, he's dead now, but a very knowledgeable man, and a man who would explain a lot of things to me if I ask, and not necessarily beat you with the Bible, but give you an explanation. Then it's for you to go and investigate that explanation, not to kind of like just take it, you know what I mean? But to investigate, okay, well, let me go and look this up. And then I thank God for the power of the internet, because we've got knowledge at our fingertips now. It's just, if you can be bothered to spend the time to research, you know what I mean? We can look up different languages, we can look up history. YouTube is a blessing. People make whole videos on things, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I thank God that he put me in this space where I was financially able to have time that I can just dedicate to research. And I researched for about a year, bruv. You know what I'm saying? All heap of things. You know what I mean? Is the Bible reliable? Is Jesus a real historical figure? I researched Islam and Muhammad and all of that. I researched Selassie and Rastafari. Like, so much stuff, cuz, that is out there that you're gonna find out if you do the research that people ain't necessarily gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying?
How long would you say your research took? Was it months? Was it weeks? Years?
About a year.
Wow.
About a year, bruv. You know what I mean? Cause I'm someone, I go full throttle. I need to know if these things are so. Because if I'm gonna dedicate my life to this thing, I need to know that what I believe in, what I'm gonna be defending, is the truth.
Something you can stand.
Yeah, and that I'll be able to defend it,
all the way.
as the Bible says in 1 Peter 3:15. Always be ready to give an account for the hope that you have within you. So if you ask me, why do you believe in Jesus? And want to give me some kind, Jesus ain't real. It's white man's religion. Like, fam, I'll throw that all back at you and give you some facts to make you go and research. Because what you're saying, fam, you're just regurgitating what you've heard. You know what I'm saying? These are not facts, what you're telling me. So I've researched the authenticity of the Bible, of the original manuscripts, the Hebrew, the Aramaic, the Greek. I can't speak these languages, but again, we have the internet where
translations are available.
Come on, fam. You know what I'm saying? We've got lexicons, we've got, you know what I'm saying? We've got Bible encyclopedias, we've got commentaries, we've got so much stuff. We've got historical evidence outside of the Bible that atheist historians and scholars will verify certain things within Christianity. Like the fact that Jesus Christ was a real historical man
Yeah.
that really was crucified by the Roman governor
Yeah.
Pontius Pilate. These are historical facts. These ain't
Just something
Christian
that someone's
stuff.
just making up. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These
Yeah.
are historical facts that no one can dispute, bro, unless you're like a Holocaust denier or someone
Yeah.
like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So just the Bible being a historical book, the Bible being reliable, being authentic, the people, the characters of the Bible being real people, like the apostles, Paul and Peter and them man there died for what they believed and what they saw. Now, them man there said that they saw Jesus die and come back to life,
Yeah.
and they was executed for saying that. These are real historical people who really, so even that alone, so hold on, them man there said that Jesus was real when Jesus was crucified and he came back to life, and they was killed because they were spreading that message. Yeah, because that message was a threat to Rome, a threat to Caesar.
Yeah.
Before Rome became a Christian place, before the Emperor Constantine, you know what I'm saying? So there's so much stuff, bro, that you can go and research. Again,
find out
people
for
are,
yourself.
and find out for yourself. People are gonna come and throw things back at you,
Yeah. But, you have
But
to be-
again,
have
you
to
gotta-
stand strong in what you believe
and
in.
you gotta research more. Fam,
Yeah.
I like having these kind of
Yeah,
debates.
yeah.
I'm always on the internet debating with Muslims in the comments and all of that, because it only makes my thing stronger.
Have you ever been to Speaker's Corner?
I haven't been to
Yeah,
Speaker's
that's-
Corner still. Shall I tell you why?
Yeah.
I wanted to go there a couple of times, but bruv, because when I watch it on YouTube, it's not fruitful.
Yeah,
People are just shouting at each other.
Yeah. It's not contained.
It's not contained,
Yeah.
and no, like, I learn more by watching online rather than going there and getting into an argument with someone, because it's not, again, I'm just repeating myself, it's not fruitful. No one's getting saved there.
Yeah.
People are just, who can shout the louder, who's right,
Yeah.
who's wrong, who can make this one look stupid, you know what I'm saying? But I love Speaker's Corner still.
I want to ask you two questions. What was the day you actually gave your life to Christ?
I was sitting down reading. It was during this time I was doing the research and all of that. So, bro, I would be up all night watching videos on YouTube about like all kind of things, Judaism, Islam, because they're all connected.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all connected,
It's
fam.
intertwined in some way.
Yeah, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, for instance, Christianity comes from Judaism, and then Islam sort of comes from Christianity. Kind of comes from
Yeah.
Christianity. There's no Islam without Christianity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all these things are connected. Even the Muslims will tell you that a lot of their prophets are biblical prophets. Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, even they got a Jesus character. I don't believe it's the same Jesus. They call him Isa. I don't believe Isa is Yeshua HaMashiach. But I'm digressing. I was sitting down reading my Bible one day, reading the Gospel of Matthew. Yeah, and I was again, like I said, I'll be up all night. Yeah, I didn't have nothing else to do but this. This consumed my life, brother. Yeah. I was sitting down reading the Gospel of Matthew, and then, bruv, all of a sudden, it's like a ton of bricks fell on me. It's how I kind of felt, like this weight that, this is real.
Yeah.
Jesus is actually real.
What year was this?
This is 2015.
2015. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus died, like on a cross. He died. He actually died for me and that. You know what I'm saying? And cause I just started to like bawl. Sitting down in my front room, out of nowhere this happened. I was just bawling, cause nose running, everything. You know what I'm saying? And then it just licked me, cause.
Yeah.
And then I was in mourning, like I was grieving for the death of Christ. Yeah, this went on for maybe about an hour or so like that. And then I came out of it and then I was like, but he's alive, he rose again, he resurrected. And then this feeling of euphoria that no weed, no drug, no liquor has ever made me feel like this, no sex, no nothing. This feeling I had, cuz, of euphoria, yeah? And then I had that feeling for about 3 days. I remember going to sleep with the feeling and waking up and I still felt like it was just nuts, cuz. And the only way I can describe it to you is like it felt like there was an orchestra inside of me playing this amazing heavenly music. That's the only way I can describe how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that feeling was with me for about 3 days. You know what I'm saying? My brethren, Dwayne Triumph, said what happened there was I got baptized by the Holy Spirit at that time. Maybe not, but I know that was the point of my life when I became a believer, when I knew, now this thing is real, this is true, and this is what I'm dedicating my life to.
I want to ask you, have you watched Malcolm X?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a scene in Malcolm X where he's
In the prison.
not even in the prison, he's come out, and his friend, I believe his friend was it Smokey? He's come to see him preach. He's right at the back. He's right at the back.
Spike Lee's character.
Yeah, Spike Lee's character. He's preaching, and everyone's clapping. And he meets him after, and he goes, "Yo, that's some good hustling stuff that you done, you know." But he's talking, he goes, "Hey, like, wanna go around the corner and hit a line together, right?" And he's like, "Nah, don't do that no more." He goes, "Okay, cool, let's go and have a drink." He's like, "Nah, don't do that." He goes, "Yeah, let's go and womanize." And he's like, "Well, don't do that." Cerose from Brixton, PDC gang member, been to jail, different kind of convictions. Like the street resume is long, it's there. You now turn around on ends and say, "I've given my life to Christ." What was the initial reaction between the man, them, the community? Were people thinking, "Give him 6 months, give him 2 weeks"? Like, "Yeah, I'll bet you give you £100 for that. I'll do that move with us or whatever."
Boy,
how were you received?
I don't know, maybe people was thinking that. No one said that to my face, but maybe people was thinking that. I was received, like, people was like, "Do you know what? Cause I'm glad for you, glad you turn your life around, rare, that kind of vibe, you know what I'm saying?" And I'm like, "All right, cool, safe. I'm glad for me too, but I want to be glad for you, fam. Like, you need this gospel, rude boy, you know what I'm saying? Just like I need it, you need it, cause like, fam, the wages of sin is death, and without Christ, they're going to hell. There's no nice way to say that, but that's the truth. If we're outside of Christ, we're enemies of God who deserve God's wrath. It's a simple, I deserve God's wrath, but I'm a sinner saved by grace. It's only because of Christ dying on the cross for in my place, for my sin. Not because I'm righteous, not because I go to church, not because I evangelize on the corner, not because I make gospel rap music, none of that. We're saved by grace through faith, not of our works, lest any man should boast.
You must have had some good debates with the brothers, predominantly because majority of the man were Muslim. So you've come out, you said, "I'm Christian." Did you ever get into any good debates with the brothers?
Definitely. But again, those things are spiritual and yeah, cause certain subjects people get really offended. You know what I mean? Especially when we start going on this Islam thing now, because, you know, the Prophet of Islam, he ain't a good character. You know what I'm saying? And when you start talking about his character, people get offended, bro. So when we have those conversations, now it depends on who it is as well, because there's people, the barbershop's a beautiful place to go for a debate.
You don't even have to have a trim.
Fam,
Barbershop is
look at
always
me.
there. Barbershop
Like,
has
fam,
always been the platform for us.
Go
to
into
go
the
there.
barbershop to evangelize, cuz there's the barbershop at the bottom of the road from my church. I go there every Friday just to evangelize, to talk to, like, one of the barbers is a Christian. Loves it when I come in there. You get me, rude boy? So there's certain spaces you can go, and certain mandem, if we're going to talk about Muslims now, who are mature, certain Muslim brothers who are mature, who can have that conversation,
and not get
you know what I'm saying?
emotional.
And not get emotional and get in their feelings and want to fight. You get me? But then there's some who ain't mature, don't necessarily even know their thing. They just know a bit, you know what I'm saying? Because they haven't grown up in Islam, they're just converted. So they don't even really know the thing. They don't even know Muhammad was a white man, you know what I'm saying, for instance. Muhammad is a white man, you know what I'm saying? They don't know things like that. And Muhammad had black slaves, they don't know things like that. Muhammad had a child bride, they don't know things like this, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to say certain things and man will get
triggered.
Like, Astaghfirullah, and all the Arabic that they've learnt starts coming out and like, bro, what are you talking about?
It goes back to
go and look it up.
At the beginning, exactly.
Research.
You have to research and you have to do your due diligence.
Yeah, bro.
Let's jump into the music now. As a gospel artist coming from the mainstream, how have you navigated and how have you found it? And one thing I want to ask you is, sometimes as musicians you're not taken serious, or sometimes, you know, they gravitate to this person, gravitate to that person, you're not getting the look in. How often have you had to hold the PDC Cerose back?
Yeah, a lot, you know.
Yeah.
A lot, especially in the early days, cause
Yeah.
like when I first became a believer, I'm still a work in progress, obviously. You know what I mean? I have not arrived, and I'm not gonna arrive until the Lord takes me home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're always a work in process through that process of sanctification. But to answer your question, a lot, you know, because you know you're making good music. Like, I'm not full of myself, but I
Yeah.
know I can rap.
Yeah.
I know I make good tunes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you feel like that's not penetrating through certain avenues or certain DJs or platforms ain't picking it up,
Yeah.
and like, raw, Olan, then the flesh comes into it, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know who I am though? No, this man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you got to reel it in and, you know, hear the Lord talking to you, you know what I mean? But who are you though? Who are you really? You're a servant of the Lord.
Yeah.
So act like it, be Christ-like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be a servant, just do it. The Lord sees what I'm doing. And ultimately, if this is for God, whatever I do, whether it's making music, writing books, preaching on the corner, doing stuff at my church, if I'm doing it for God, then let God do what he's going to do with it, innit? I will get my reward when I meet the Lord.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mansions.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
No, I like that. So where is Cerose right now? What's happening in your world? What's going on? And yeah.
So right now, I'm a full-time Christian minister. So I work with a Christian organisation called London City Mission. It's a charity. Do many things, you know, homeless work, church mobilisation, work with refugees, all kinds of different work with youth, gang members, in prisons, just all kinds of stuff. I'm a serving elder at my church, so you know, elder, pastor type vibe.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you there. What's the definition of an elder, by the way? Because that's a heavy
Yeah,
title
so elder, pastor, overseer, it's all sort of the same thing. Yeah, and it's just someone who is in church leadership in my church. I'm one of the leaders of my church. And it comes with a lot of responsibility, biblically as well, because elders and pastors and people who teach the Bible are going to be judged more harsh than normal
You guys
Christians.
You're under the
Right.
the slightest
And judged
thing.
by God as well,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
harsh, it says in the book of Timothy. So it's not something to take lightly when you're given that appointment, you know what I mean? So that's what an elder is. So I'm an elder at Calvary Chapel, East Dulwich, praise be to God. And you know, I do the music, still got the music. Outside the Box is my latest gospel album. It's an eclectic album, it's out there on all platforms. I encourage you to go listen to it. It's fully gospel focused, it's all about Christ. But it's good music. It ain't cheesy, corny music. You know what I'm saying? So you can get that. I write books.
The books, exactly.
Yeah.
You got 2 books here.
Yeah. So
Childlike
this book
Faith.
is A Childlike Faith.
Yeah. And Ringo.
It's about my daughter who, praise be to God, he healed her from a brain tumor last year. She had a brain tumor, and yeah, the Lord in His providence just worked it all out, and now she's perfectly healthy. Even right now, she's at a movie premiere with her mum, and I'm here just doing enjoying life. Praise be to God.
And got Ringo.
This is
Ringo
goes on holiday. This is like my children's character, Ringo. This isn't sort of Bible or gospel or anything. This is just my love letter to the community. You know, I got small children growing up and reading books to my kids. There weren't a lot of books reflecting our culture, you know what I mean? So it prompted me to create this character. And this is the second Ringo book, and I'll be developing more by God's grace in the future. There's a cartoon as well on YouTube called Ringo Time. You can check that out, you know what I mean?
Definitely. What would you say to young kids watching now, or even parents watching, and they're saying, you know, I've got a child that's on the roads, or there's a kid that's battling, or, you know, sometimes they're just scared to be themselves. You that's been through it, you that's seen it, what kind of advice or message would you give them?
Yeah, I'd say keep praying, man. I'd say never underestimate the power of prayer.
And if you don't know how to pray?
Yeah, but praying is just talking to God. You don't have to be praying in tongues. You know what I mean? You don't have to, you can be you don't have to be kneeling down. You don't have to even have your eyes closed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can pray anywhere. You can pray in your mind or you can pray out loud. You know what I'm saying? And it's just talking to God. I would say this, what the Bible says, God does not hear the prayers of non-believers. So, if you're a believer, pray. Keep praying like me. Like, I became a Christian in my mid-30s.
Yeah.
My mum, my dad, my granny, my people them who know the Lord was praying for me from before I was born.
Sowing them seeds.
Sowing them seeds. So just because your child might be 15, 16 or whatever, going through the motions, maybe even 25, I don't know. Because, your child will always be a child.
Yeah.
You're still your mother's child.
Always,
You're a big man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro? So keep praying, man, because you don't know when God is going to intervene and do this thing. You know what I mean? It happened with me. You know what I mean? It happened with many other people who I know, who have lived even crazier lives than I did, and now have the same testimony. They're in the Lord, and they're fully in the Lord. And I believe the Lord uses man like me and people who have colourful pasts, if I can put it like that.
Yeah.
Uses it more for his glory, man. You know what I mean? Like the Apostle Paul, he was a man who used to kill Christians.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then God used him to write 13 books of the New Testament. So,
Last question. What would the Cerose of today say to the Cerose of yesterday? Had you had the opportunity to evangelize to yourself, what would you say?
I don't know, I'd say maybe I'd just say, do you know what? Jesus is real.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd just say that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
again, because I don't believe there's any accidents. I believe in the sovereignty of God, meaning that everything that happens is God's will. Nothing like this conversation we're having is God's will. It's meant to happen. There's no accidents, bro. You know what I mean? So that means everything that I've done in my past that was bad, it was still God's sovereign will for that to happen, for me to be sitting here today. You know what I mean? Good and bad. God uses these things for his glory. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Like, in an ideal world, I would have said to you, boy, I just would have loved to have become a Christian a lot sooner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then who am I to talk against the sovereign God?
Yeah.
God chose the time.
Process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God chose the time. God did what he was doing. I'm just glad I'm on the right side. I'm just glad I'm saved.
Yeah, trust me. Talking of
I'm
time,
saying.
I know you're a busy man. You've got things
Yes,
to
family.
do out here, kingdom, saving souls and all that.
Come
so I'm
on,
going to let
by
you go.
God's
Thank you
grace.
for joining me on Come Chop.
Amen,
Before
bro.
you go, again, where can they find the album and where can they find the books?
Yeah, man. So the album Outside the Box is on all platforms. Spotify, iTunes, all of that good stuff. Childlike Faith, Ringo Goes on Holiday, all at Amazon. Please do support. Please leave a comment and all of that and share, man. And yeah, man. Give thanks.
Trust me. Me, myself, Matt Sobello. If you need any press from Cerose, just hit me up. I'll be sending you the PayPal link and then we can sort that out. But until next time, bless.